Jolly Rancher Remix, located at Hersheypark, technically opened on May 11th of 1991, but it wasn't called Jolly Rancher Remix. It used to be called Sidewinder, and it used to be themed to a snake. But in 2022, it was entirely rethemed to be based around the lovable candies, the Jolly Rancher, and sports a beautiful green color scheme with a bunch of blue, pink, and purple supports, and they made a tunnel to incorporate different smells. Man, oh man, how do you make a Vekoma Boomerang a ton of fun? You remix it, and that's exactly what Hersheypark did in 2022. And even though this could technically be a review video for any other boomerang out there, this boomerang is just so unique compared to the other ones. I have to do this one separately. But I'm going to list off the stats anyway. It's a length of under 1,000 feet, 935 feet to be exact, about a height of 115 feet with speed of up to 47 miles per hour through 3 inversions that you take twice, once forward and the others back. So it is technically 6 inversions. Has about a 2-minute ride duration from leaving the station to arriving back, and has a crazy high G-force, depending on where you sit that is, of about 5.2 calculated, and seats 7 cars with 2 across, a total of 28 riders. Once again, built by Vekoma. This is a true classic roller coaster, one of the most commonly found roller coasters across the entire planet, especially in North America. So if you want to treat this video as a review of all kind of Vekoma boomerangs, you're more than welcome to. But again, Jolly Rancher Remix is so unique compared to the other Vekoma boomerangs out there that I have to put this one separately. So let's review Jolly Rancher Remix.
Now get ready. Here we go.
Now, before we begin to talk about the ride experience of Jolly Rancher Remix, we got to talk about how to get there. Once you get through the entirety of Chocolate Town, you make your way all the way through the crazy mass amounts of hills. Keep yourselves to the right-hand side and you'll pass the Hershey Triple Tower. Follow the hillside down, you'll pass a restaurant and the entrance for Trailblazer, and keep making your way up the hill underneath Storm Runner's launch, and you will come across Jolly Rancher Remix's entrance on the right-hand side, directly next to Storm Runner. Now, alongside Jolly Rancher Remix, there was a new ride added, which is a Zamperla Nebula called Mixed. This was originally where Sidewinder's entrance used to be, but in 2022, they updated the entrances, which would later help out overall throughput, to have Storm Runner and Jolly Rancher Remix's entrance be pretty much right next to each other. This was a very smart move on the park, just to allow overall throughput and popularity across both attractions to draw people into them as well. Now, once you enter through the station, you basically are greeted to what is essentially a party. Now, the Jolly Rancher character that sometimes walks around the park is a literal DJ, so what better way to celebrate that character by making every ride experience different by listening to a different soundtrack as well as a different smell in the tunnel. That's right, that new blue tunnel that you see as you walk up to the ride can actually pull off a scent, and it's a different scent every time, which would usually be of a different candy. Now, there's a ton of different scents. I'm not going to go into full detail about what those scents are, because unfortunately, I've only gotten to experience one scent, which was the type of scent that was offered during their holiday event. So I've only gotten the chance to experience Jolly Rancher Remix in its holiday form. So I can only really judge it off of that. And if in case you're curious, the smell that they offer for the holiday event is literally Santa Claus. I don't really know why. But anyway, once you get into the station, if you're just getting into the station as the ride is progressing, literally the entire station is a party. Lights are everywhere. They're changing colors like crazy. There's a whole sequence with the catch car release. I mean, it's just chaos and party nonsense. This is just so up my alley. But anyway, skip all through that. You get on the ride. Depending on where you sit, much like with every Vekoma Boomerang, really determines the ride experience. If you sit towards the back, going forward first, you'll definitely get a much different experience than if you are sitting towards the front and then going forward first. So I'll try to do my best to explain how those forces sort of work. And as I mentioned earlier, the G-force count max is 5.2, which only is really determined on where you actually sit. So for this ride, we'll get into that right now. So as soon as you leave the station, you don't go forward at all. You actually advance backwards as the catch car lift hill takes you up the 116-foot hill. As soon as it reaches that height, it lets go of the car and you go forwards. You go zooming right past the station. You go through a cobra roll, which still has a little bit of a jolt to it when you enter it, going both forward and backwards. After that, you go through the descent tunnel, you get through a vertical loop, and then you go back up. This is a chain lift hill, so it takes you all the way up back to the top before you are released again, and you do the whole thing in reverse. Vertical loop, descent tunnel, cobra roll, that's the ride. So it's a very straightforward ride, straightforward layout, and again, it is a very commonly cloned layout, so you see these layouts basically everywhere you go, for the most part, in 9 out of 10 amusement parks around the world. Anyway. Now, obviously, where this ride differs is the descent tunnel and the theming, which is really where this ride shines and makes it unique. The whole theming and the party aspect and the blasting music that plays, and especially at nighttime, holy gosh, at nighttime, this thing is awesome. This ride is so much fun. And even though I really enjoyed this ride as Sidewinder, because I thought it was a rather smoother ride, I still thought this was pretty smooth. They got a whole new fleet of trains alongside the Jolly Rancher Remix theme change, and a lot more also got added with it as well. The relocated entrance, descent tunnel, so on and so forth, and the new flat ride in front. So this ride really got a true overhaul for the better. A lot of people were really skeptical about this makeover because Sidewinder is already kind of solid as it is, but I feel like they just made something that was already good even better. And clearly, they have no plans to get rid of Jolly Rancher Remix, so they put this new update in, and my gosh, it transforms the entire area, and it makes it so much better. Now, does it have much to do with Western? Not really. That's a whole other argument for another day, but clearly, Hersheypark is kind of turning a bit of a corner where they want to focus a little bit more on the candied stuff, like they have Jolly Rancher Remix, they had Candymonium, now they have Twizzler Twisted Gravity that's opening up right by the Triple Towers in 2025, which is going to be the world's tallest S&S Screamin' Swing. So clearly, Hersheypark's going in a direction where they want to try to have some candy-themed attractions, and this was kind of the start of it alongside Candymonium, which was very interesting to see. But overall, if there is a Vekoma Boomerang, if you're one of those crazy people that has to go out and ride a Vekoma Boomerang and might put it at the top of your list as one of your favorites, it's probably going to be this one. Now, right away, this isn't the best coaster in the world. I think we all know Wildcat's Revenge, Sky Rush are like two peas in a pod and are like one of the best 1-2 punches on the face of the planet. However, you cannot sleep on this roller coaster. You might sleep on this roller coaster because it's a Vekoma Boomerang. That's very easy for you to do. It's very easy to sleep on a Vekoma Boomerang, but in terms of one of the best Vekoma Boomerangs out there, Jolly Rancher Remix definitely has to be at the top of the list. I think this ride is really, really awesome. I'm very curious to see and experience the ride itself when it's not Christmas, so that way I could actually get to sense those smells from that scent tunnel outside of that and be able to experience different sort of scents as well, and just maybe see if that changes up the ride experience. But overall, this is a fantastic ride. Do I prefer you sitting in the front or the back? I think either way works well. If you want a little bit of both, sit towards the middle. If you really want more one intense ride than the other, I personally will really like the back row, because especially you get totally thrown in from that vertical loop going backwards, and then the release going back into the Cobra roll is really crazy, and that's really where you hit your 5.2. So definitely try this ride back row. But all in all, Jolly Rancher Remix, super slept on, super fun. It's just a party that never ends. Just, of all Vekoma Boomerangs, this is the one you want to ride and check out for yourself. Let me know what you guys think of Jolly Rancher Remix at Hersheypark. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and always thank your ride operators. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the parks very soon. Bye.
Here we go.
Farmstead. Kick back. Farmstead. Kick back.
Here we go.